Sanibani Dumilang Halloween. Hi, I go by the name Nosy, and this is hashtag Positively Fat. It's February, the month of love, and we're talking body love with three beautiful, bodacious activists who, just like you and I, had their own body image demons to slay. This week, we're in conversation with activist and diet dropout Megan Richards as she shares her story on how she learned to love and accept her body positively.
Body love for me can be me being accepting of my body and loving my body as is, and then accepting everyone else's. So I could be in a body positive space, but I'm not a robot. I'm a real woman with real feelings. And there are days, even as a body positive activist, that I also have, a negative body image. So I think on those days, I move more into a body neutral space. I tend to think like, what is my body capable of doing? How powerful am I in my body? How is my body able to help me achieve some of the tasks that I want to do today? And it's something that I can be proud of, because my body and yours and everybody else's has got us through a global pandemic. I did not have the best relationship with my body. So not only did I have a really bad relationship with my body, but the internal dialogue was, I actually don't know what was worse, if it was the relationship or the internal dialogue. And so I gained quite a lot of weight, and then I was constantly being questioned about my weight. I was being body shamed. I felt like a failure in a sense, because I wasn't living up to a certain standard. A couple of years ago, a friend of mine invited me to a belly dance party. It changed my life. I feel like I discovered belly dancing and body positivity at the same time, and everything just aligned for me. It was the start of me healing the relationship with my body. I was so inspired by the diversity in the class and that sense of sisterhood. Belly dancing is basically from your core. So when you're in the class, you actually have to lift up your top, and you have to stare at yourself, and you can imagine what that must have been like, because like I mentioned, I did not have the best relationship with my body at the time. But through dance, which was a form of movement, I really started to heal the relationship with my body. I started reading books on body positivity. It was just amazing that everything aligned for me. And I started to notice small things, like my posture was a bit different. When I walked, I wouldn't say that I was sluggish in the past, but I would notice after maybe dancing for 3 or 4 months, like my posture was so different. I'd walk differently, and I started to notice that internal dialogue also started to change. So I no longer, used to think about myself in a certain way. I could replace that with affirmations, and that's where the body positive movement came in, because I was learning about it at the time. So my journey to loving my body as is has not been easy. It's been very difficult. I've had to seek help. I've had to do a lot of work, lots of journaling, lots of inner reflection. But I'm very grateful for belly dance and the body positive movement. I would not be here. Okay, so body positivity is it's a social movement that advocates for all body shapes and sizes. Body neutrality is a little bit different, because you'll often find that someone who is body neutral, they're more focused on what their body can do for them and not so much what their body looks like. So I think if you were to compare the two, body positivity is the social movement, and body neutrality is it's the individual's view on their body, but not based on what their body looks like. It's more about how your body feels, what your body can do for you. And they don't necessarily hate their bodies. They don't necessarily love it either. They just in between, each movement expands. And so body neutrality is a very big part of body positivity. I mean, even on my own journey, there are days where I feel more body neutral than body positive. And so I think that there are many categories within this movement. So body acceptance, body neutrality, that all forms part of body positivity. In South Africa, if I compare to the US and the UK, I think the UK and the US, they've made a lot of progress. There are so many activists, there are so many events, they even do protests, and it's amazing to see what they've done. Even looking at the fashion industry is a bit more inclusive. They've got extended sizes, fat individuals, have a bit more options. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about South Africa. We are making an impact. It's not happening as fast as it is in other countries. There are definitely more activists making an impact. There are a few more stores being inclusive, but it's definitely not moving fast enough. We need more activists, and not just social media influencers, but we need doctors, we need medical staff, because the stigma about existing in a fat body or in a larger body, it goes into it just impacts every single aspect of your life. We need more authors and researchers that will focus on the South African market. So, focus on our culture, focus on our environments and all of that. That's what I want to see more of, especially in the next 5 years. One of the tips I can give you is just to evaluate and see where you are at in your journey, and then take the next steps accordingly. So if you are in a space where you feel like, I can do this on my own, I don't necessarily need professional help. I can get a couple of books, a couple of workbooks, I can follow people on social media, listen to podcasts, watch things on YouTube, then that's fine. You can do self-directed learning, and then also just build the relationship with your body. But there are times where you need to go for therapy, because there could have been traumatic event that happened to you, and you actually do need professional help. And so then I would say go out and seek professional help. But it's just important to evaluate and see where you're at, and then make changes according to where you're at. It's not an easy journey, but if you're willing to dedicate time to yourself every single day, you will start seeing improvements. Maybe not right away, but a month later, a year later, you'll see very, very big improvements, and it really does help.